Well, we don't want to be like that preacher. You know, the preacher had been coming, listening, or trying to teach and get his audience to listen to him. But every time he would get there, they would start talking about the party they had on Saturday night. So the old preacher got tired of that. So he started up a way to get their attention. So he put his 45 in his pocket, and he's taken his Bible, and he put a bottle of whiskey in his Bible case. So he got up before the people, he put the Bible down to his left, and he put a 45 over to his right. Then he looked over the people and he says, brothers and sisters, my text is today, some of these things were moving. I don't have those kind of tools to use. I have to mix out with one book up here. We're going back to our subject. What I'm leading you up for is the theology of the time. And as it was written, in which you didn't understand. Now, if I happen to get low, too weak, you know, I just give it to her. I didn't eat no breakfast this morning. You know, the preacher, most of them eat a little piece of fried chicken when they go out to work. Well, that sticks in your upper, though. But we ministers of Islam does not do that. We don't take on physical food first. It hinders us from getting the spiritual food. So what we are teaching here to bring your mind and heart attention to the time. What must be done in such time? This is what we're trying to get your attention on. It is the time. And time, what is time? Time is motion. We can't make time without a motion. Whenever we make a motion, it is registering time. This is the way the universe is made. There was no such thing as time before the creation of God. The whole universe, we call it now, it was not a universe. It was just a darkened, unlimited of space. Darkness is still the limit of space. If we could get out of the light of God, if we could get out of the light of God, we will find ourselves again into total darkness. But I don't think you'll be smart enough to do that. You're just not going to get out of the light of the sun and stars. To get out of the sunlight into starlight, you will have to go a long way. It takes care of what astronomers call a family, the sunlight. The sunlight does not go all over the universe. That's why you have stars. Stars picks it up and keeps the darkness lighted up throughout the universe. They're like sun, like ours, and they're nothing but balls of fire. Don't look and wonder what kind of life live on a star. None at all. It's a ball of fire. There is no life in all of this great space extending beyond 4,600,000,000 miles. We have the last planet in the sunlight. Some people call it Pluto. And that's pretty good, according to those people who found it. They give it meaning after themselves. A lot of sometimes is called by the name of someone else. The astronomer who discovered it. But I'm going to talk on you of that first man that discovered these things, who made them. There is no such work as going into some great shop, carving out a planet to see what it looks like on paper. The gods didn't do that. They just willed the planet and here it is. That's pretty smart, isn't it? To be ungoverned on that. We are practically up to the time. And what God has revealed to me. If you would like to ask questions, take note of how you perform your questions. You're not asking Elijah Muhammad. Just remember, you want to question what God was telling God. And if you are the one and find that Elijah lied, you are saying God has lied. And I will give you $10,000. Well, the captain just got it. The main thing about this meeting and teaching, it is new. We have been so divided against each other for the last 400 years that we want to unite. We look alike. You don't look like you're both whiter than I. And I know we can unite if you black. You know, I was sitting down this morning reading about the Indians talk over Oklahoma. They claim that's the first state indirectly in this little book that I was reading, that they are going to take over. You know, the Red Sea has been bad ever since. That the white man came across the Atlantic and taken over his country. So he has been crazily angry ever since. We have been made so blind, that we're not angry. We're satisfied. We don't want no other place. Suppose I give you this place, and we will see how you are. You in over country. That's nothing hard for you to do. Your father must rule the whole world. And so for you to get back, you just getting back in the chair that you belong. I know one thing, the officers have done a very good job of feeding you. I know now I'm talking to those, but I didn't talk to last week, last year. I'm talking to new people. I call them, or we call them new, because they never heard what we have heard. This is a very small group of people that have never heard the truth. You never have heard the truth as long as you were by that cross thing, or under that cross, glorifying it, to be the way to God. You glorify it, to be the absolutely right way to Jesus, you say, and God. I want you to know this, and I guess I brings up a fight now. You don't have Jesus to go to today. I want you to know that. You can come with me and all the men I will prove to you. I know such penny as Jesus that they crucified 2,000 years his own feet. There's no question. He says in the Bible, I go away. Right? But nevertheless, the Father will send one. Now, he is going. And so he's going the way. Brother, you are blind, deaf, and dumb. The Father telling you, he said, he was gone away, means that he was going to die. Not going to some heaven to sit down and listen at you for 2,000 years. Well, sometimes I'm very sorry to fight. When you happen to find me like that today, I'm ready to fight. It makes me and you run away to the knowledge of what's going on. So angry with this blue-eyed self was blinding you, making you to hate me, and I'm loving you. He makes me to hate because you love what he gives, and not what God and myself gives you. But my God and myself today, as I made a joke in front, we have something that is going to lose you. If we come before you with the universe on our hell, cold lapel, this means that we come to you. That's what it means. Nothing else. You can't produce an argument yourself that you could win with. It is not for you to know as yet, but to other on that could condemn what I am teaching you. You can't think. You can't think the first to ask me. But I cannot answer. I sure want you to hear me all right. I don't want to lose a word. I want you to hear me. Because you don't have next year and year after next to come out of your ears. You're going to make up your mind today. The change of the world is going on now. It is not to come, it's in the workings now. Of the radio, I'm sure you have one, TVs, they're teaching you that this world's time is now going out. They tell you that. The fight over and Vietnam is not a fight of yours. It is not a fight of mine. It is not the people that my God sent after to try to save the Vietnam people, nor the white Americans who responded to it. We have nothing to do with that. And I will tell anyone, regardless of who he is, regardless of how wise he is, I will tell him you're not wise enough yet to tell me to go to Vietnam to fight. You know I'm kind of sort of one to go after you today. I'm ready for you. For the last couple of Sundays ago, I was a little weak. I suffer with some of these devil complaints and diseases. Well, I don't know whether it's actually disease or not. But however, I must fulfill that which is written of me. and all of their afflictions rewards with you. But the pleasure of the Lord will trust with him. And it is not trusting with me to get to you, to save you from the destruction of the world of the devil. Then maybe God don't want you. But if you are listening and you believe what is said and want to follow in what is said, the teachings of yourself, making you to know yourself and to know the devil and God, are bringing these two great gods before you and make you acquainted with both of them. It is up to you to choose whom you will serve. Elijah is not here to force you to accept what he is teaching. It's just his duty that God has saved here with, so he must turn. Now remember, that's all, and I'm not going to try and force you. I'm not going to spend time arguing with you. I was not raised up among you to argue with you, just to tell you, when you can leave it or let it alone. I would like to say to you that I think Mr. DeBet, who was the president of this church, which was called church when it was under their authority. That is their religion. That wherever they hold that meeting, it's called a church. I'll make you hungry today. I'll keep you here for a long time. We must know the truth today, like the Jesus prophesied, that the truth will make you free. You don't have to look up nothing else to free you the truth. Why did Jesus prophesy that? Because the truth is on your side. You are the truth man. I'm here to contend with the world, not you alone. Not you alone, but the world. I'm not boasting. I'm just trying to get acquainted with you. That's all. That the Scripture is fulfilled wherein it teaches you and I that he would raise up one from among the dead and teach that one to teach the other dead. What he wills that we should know. Well, this is him standing up here. I'm not boasting, I'm not trying to be independent in the way of a boast or proud. I'm only trying to make myself acquainted with you. But I'm your brother, I'm your best brother you are. Because this is why up here, before your eyes, told God when he was looking for one of us to do this job. I said to him, right now, and I will do it. He looked at me and smiled and said, brother, are you with me to put our people on top of civilization? I said, yes, sir. If you back me up, he said, I will back you up, brother. You go. He said, I will back you up. So he has been doing that for 40 years. I have been in many close, what you call close calls. Somebody after your life. I have been up many times. I'm still here. We have a class here called, two classes called FOI and MGT and GCC. The FOI is brothers that you see wearing the initial on the headpieces, which also represents the circle like this, only it does not give to you little signs of the theology side of the headpiece. This here gives you the sign of the universe, the sun, moon, and star. Well, the sun is not up here, but the star moons do. The closest thing that represent us as who we are. You can't go away from round being what you are. If you represent the sun, moon, and stuff, we are the first people in the sun. And fact about it, the sun did not make us, we made the sun. And the stars that light up, that once dark and glow, our fathers made them. Not the same one, the one that created himself and brought forth light from himself. Brother got behind him, dashed these balls out here in the darkness, and made light so far into darkness that you can't find the end of it. Light out there is so far that we can't take and make a telescope, microscope, to prove the distance to get to the outer edge. So it must be a long ways. It goes into trillions and into septrillions. All the trillions that you can mention of, you just can't find the outer edge. Well, let's get away over here on this word again. Would you, I said, getting away with the voice, would you follow a religion that will hang you to the tree? Like that you feel. Would you believe in a religion that teaches you that that cross is the sign of what the brothers of Jesus did, would you did not follow the same people? I will ask you, would you say the Christian or Christianity is right if they teach you that they killed Jesus? The last prophet? Would you not follow them? You follow because you don't know. You don't understand. You are so righteous by absolute nature that when they had you tied up under slavery, they could tell you anything in the way of religion that you didn't know you would follow, because you were created religious and you want something to musically teach you religion of some kind, whether it is the right one or not. That's right. You're born a righteous person. And the devil taking you away from righteousness and enslave you here in log houses and whatnot, and taught you different from what you were created and made of, and put into you his way. And his way is opposed to the right way. This is what I'm doing with from God to challenge the world that they are unrighteous and we are righteous. Look in your papers and in your magazines. Listen over the radio of the land and the TVs, and you'll never see him only trying to condemn me. If he's doing anything in condemnation to what I'm teaching, he'll hide away, to come out in the front and do it. I would like to put him out, stand him over there before you, like I am, and question him. But he's not going to do it because he knows the truth. His mom produced. Islam has produced in him, not the righteousness, the theologians, the scientists of physics, making new additions to the Bible, of the Bible. And that he is done for two things. This is his purpose and aim. It is to keep you blind to even the truth in it. And one, to keep the book away from your knowledge and keep it to himself, God, and others that have not yet caught up with his lie. Is the Bible a lie? Elijah? No, it's not a lie if you understand it. But if you don't understand it, it makes you to see it as make you see it wrong, and we see that that wrong way you were seeing it was put there purposely by the liar to keep you away from the truth. But I said to you that you are a great blessed people to have God to raise up from among you your own brother and teach him the knowledge of the book. I have been given the knowledge of the Bible. This is why I tell you that I will give you $10,000 if you can find the line. Because God taught me the knowledge of the Bible. I wasn't born like that. He said that I was pretty good material that was born. That's why he's taken me over. That I already was born with the right material that he wanted. But everybody's not born like that. You find that in the Bible. That the master went out. We have so much to say that we may bore you a little, but anyway, to show that we was not wise, if a man offered us a cross and then tell us that they killed a great man once upon a time by hanging him on that cross, we should have done this. Stay with you. We don't want you to teach us nothing about our religion. But you were late. You didn't know what a religion was. And you didn't know what to tell them your religion was. If you tell them that you don't want this, he'll ask you, you know you have done. You say, well, what kind of religion do you have? And you couldn't tell it because you didn't have one. He had not taught you one but his own. The white man was created, or rather made, to take all black people out of their real religion. Not one, but all. He's gone all over the earth, taking black people out of their original way of life. Now these two signs up here, we have gone over them, and we're going to just fresh bound to line up the new man where we are going. This flag on this side, we put it over here. It don't represent what you think it does, and that you always worship in its own glory. I want to know, brother, where in the world have you found own glory for yourself? You have not found no glory there in that life for yourself. Listen, or he's teaching us against the flag of the country, then he must be a communist. He must be. No, brother. This is not the communist flag that's over to the right. That's the flag I'm trying to teach you. That is your own flag. And no other people is to offer to you. Go and look over the flags that the nation has in your encyclopedias and also and the regular common book. They teach you over here, that one to the right. All the nations of your kind and my kind have a little piece of it in their flag. That one to the right. Some of them have just a star of it. Some of them have a moon. But he's in that flag. Not over here. Those that have their faith under their flag may that's the design of America's flag Americas or Europe have something to do with it. What I mean that Europe and America rules that people. Even to your good little brother over here in Africa, you call, Nigeria. Not Nigeria. Liberia. Excuse my bluntness, brother. That's America's flag, and that's the black man over there that he owns over there in the midst of others. That's right. That he can take that one there and try and sway the others to go along with him. That he is backed by America. So you say, Liberia is my country, my state. No, it's the white man's state. He rules that. When he gets out of a state or country, then it's that native people there own their rule or can rule themselves. Let's go from here now. I think I have been talking long enough. Brother Minister James Shabbat, turn the flag over, please. And let's get to work. We fool around here. You know, we can talk a long time often just this and that, because we know this and that. Now, I teach our pastor minister to do certain drawings and figures over there on the word of what I'm saying. Now, the first thing, brother, I want you to draw me a long hyphen. No, don't get dragged back there. Just to go to you, I may have something else for you to, No, don't go to this side with your line. Cut off about 6 inches of it on each side. Now, put a 0 on this end. Yes. Now, this 0 he puts here represents nothing. Well, it is not really funny things that we're fixing to do for you. Now we're going really into teaching you. Now, he could change and put another 0 on the other end. Yes, that's right. Everything I said, brother, you figure I'd do it. Pardon. Now, 0, 0, right? Now you have nothing to go from, or nothing to start with, right? Because the beginning is 0 is nothing, and the end is nothing. Listen good. Now, if we have 0, erased it, not a 0. If we have 0 here, and we go from 0, and out here at the other end we find 1. And then from nothing, create a what we call in arithmetic number one, we go from that to study the other. How many more do we have to study? It's 9, isn't it? You put them down. Everything I said, you put it down, brother. No. Arithmetic number one, we go from that to study the other. How many more do we have to study? It's 9, isn't it? You put them down. Everything I said, you put it down, brother. No, not like that. You put 1 and come. No, you don't put it. Yes, you can. You can put 9 beside that, but you have it wrong after all. Keep the 9 away and keep that 1 away from it there if you're going to write it. Brother, you have forgotten some hour way. I think you used to know this very well. Wait a minute, take that 1 now. Take that 1 away from the 0 here. You're watching fractions there now. I have a 1 sitting in front of a 0. That's fractions. And so, from this 0, we go out at the end of that long hyphen you have up there, and we find 1. What produced 1? It was nothing, wasn't it? If he blamed that 1, that's the way he started to make it. He makes a fraction. Right? Part of 1. But if you put it in front, he makes the whole number. Right? Now, take the 1 and put it in the rear of your 0. That is not in the rear. I'm going to call my mathematician out here for a while. You're forgetting now the whole way. We used to do this so fast, brothers and sisters, that he had forgotten because he tied his 1 here with the long hyphen line which he should not have let it touch. Because that looks like somebody fixing his law, or some kind of frame or something. But if we take the 0 here and put it on the inside, it's a fraction, right? But if we put it over in front of the 1, we are making a full number of that 1. We are taking and multiplying that 1 by putting just that 0 in front of 10-fold. That's right? All right then. But we are representing you and me. We were nothing, brother, until the coming of Allah. We were really not 0 there. But now he came and put himself with us. When he put himself with us, he increased us tenfold. Since now God has increased us tenfold by his number 1 Son, by your prosperity, he's the great number 1 God, and put himself beside nothing, created nothing tenfold, right? He made something out of nothing. by coming, standing beside nothing, which was no more than a zero, but it made the zero something we could count from. So this is you and me. You're getting up in the world now, capable of being looked upon and respected. Because the one God is beside us nothing. I all along to bring you into the knowledge of yourself. Why are you nothing? Are you in any ways talent with the universe? Yes. Elijah, why did you make the zero round? Because that's the way the universe was before the creation of man. And since out of it we came, God one that was self-free. He didn't come from the creation of another. He's the creator himself, the first. Remember that. And he made himself in a circumstance that the wisdom of his self-creation could keep going to pure knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to you and me. I want us to remember that. Don't tie your one, brother. There's no time with that long pipe. You don't know what figure you make. Don't ever tie. And today I wish to say to you, out of this darkness came on, and then he's taken the unknown and put it in front of us. For what? To produce a known. That's why the zero go in front. Now the more zeros he put up there, besides zero, it keeps producing, making this one tenfold more than apostles than it is. Just add zero. Second part of your time to drive us to Muhammad, I'm saying the more you who knew nothing and was like that zero, the more you add to the one God, you become something. I'm only now making figures of us. And from the figures, we're thinking you can understand. Let's take another look. Since we started from nothing, and since God himself started from nothing, and we're going to something, because the Creator found something more in the darker circle than he had thought that he would find. He's not here today, that same man, but he laid a base for wise God to come and get a platform out of his work of self-creation. Once every 25,000 years, right? Everything I said, figure right. Once every 25,000 years, there's a new God has been coming up in the past. So God taught them. Their wisdom would always run to about 25,000 years. And then they would change and bring in another. So all the gods that rule, as you didn't know, that God ruled by ones and not by just the same one. This is why you are taught God is one. That's right. But it's not the same God. With us, they all are dealt with righteousness until about 6,000 years ago, or better, they produced a contrary God that wanted to make his name known in power and wisdom in the universe. This was only 6,000 years ago. And this was taken up by one God to rule the people for 6,000 years. So, 6,000 years, we had a black God. His name was Yakub. And that Yakub was playing with two pieces of steel one day, and that's why he ruined his arm work by playing with two pieces of steel, watching their reaction, one attracting the other, that this steel will attract each other and come together. And he looked at that reaction. He looked up to his uncle and said, "Uncle, when I get an old man," that was now, he was 6 years old. He was a man born, but had a big head. He had a great big head, and they used to call him, so God taught me, the big head Yakub. Because his big head contained so much wisdom of brains of wisdom, that he was called the big head Yakub, meaning that he had a lot of wisdom. So he told his uncle, he said, "When I get old, man, I'm going to make a man that will rule you." So his uncle looked at his nephew and said to Yakub, "What will you make other than something that will cause bloodshed and mischief in the land, making mischief in the land and bloodshed?" He says, he didn't tell his uncle that, no. He knew his uncle was telling him the truth. He said, "That's all right." He said, "I know what you do not know." He did not tell him that he was wrong. That was just the thing he was going to do. So he told him, "I know what you do not know," and he did. You would say, Muhammad, who is this Christian Muhammad, is God. He was in the circle of God, and that was God speaking to him, questioning him on his makeable man. Now, when he got 6 years old, this Yakub began telling the people, that was what he told, pardon me, when he got to be a grown-up man, then he went out to start grafting that man that he decided that he would make to rule us from us. Think over that. He didn't go out to make him otherwise, but to get him out of us, because we had the right material in us for the making of such men. You would say to me, well, Muhammad, what kind of material? He, in his college, school, in his day and time, in the laboratory, he taken the germ of the black man to experiment on it to see what was in it. And he saw in the black man's germ two people. And one was a weaker, one than the other. And that germ was brown. So he kept experimenting with it. He said, yes. He said, I should separate this brown germ which is weaker than the other one, the black one. And I can make a man out of that germ. And then I will teach him my wisdom. And he will rule the black one until the black one produces a drop greater than I. So he discovered that black germ that he would use to make an inferior man to use a superior man or to rule a superior man, it would take 10,000 years, probably 6,000 years, for the black germ now to produce a white man that would have more wisdom than then he could erase my civilization, said here's a no. Listen up. What I said to you just maybe someday or another or this evening you'll think that you are over with me. But I told you a little 10,000 years you're not going to ever be able to condemn me. You can't. Because I give to you that of God. And you can't condemn God. You know, we come from slavery with the white man's teaching and education. We think he has the know-how of everything. He has the know-how in his world, but he don't have the know-how in our world. And our world was first, and it'll be the last that there'll be in the last. We can take his wisdom today and wrap it around our little finger and rest our little finger wrap that round. I am risen up among you to condemn the white man's teaching and to condemn him for death. This is what I'm here for. I don't want you to think you're playing with no white girl at all. My size is very small. That's why there's somebody prophesied of me being a little lamb instead of a grown-up lamb. Christian believer, that don't mean that was Jesus and I'm trying to steal him. Jesus was a well-learned man. The Lamb there gives to you a man that is not only little in stature, but he's little in education. But Jesus was a highly educated man. He was not in a dumbbell. He graduated at Arizona, and he was no dumbbell. Then he walked like those 600 miles from Carroll University, Arizona, into the land of Israel to start teaching Israel. 2,000 years ahead of Israel's time to live. But this was his own time. I'm not only on time a little ahead of it. No. I'm a little behind the time. The time of Israel was out in 1914. Now, count the years since 1940. As the FBI told me when I was arrested by them in 1930, so like, no, 1942, excuse me, in Washington, D.C. Not for what I was teaching. He said, what if you had come with this teaching 20 years ago, you'd have been shot outright. But it's time that your people should know this. So we are not trying to stop you from your teaching. But the President Roosevelt don't want you out there in the public with that kind of teaching while America is trying to prosecute the war between her, Germany, and Japan. So that's all they're putting you up for, is to keep you out of public while that we are trying to prosecute the war between Japan and Germany. Well, I said, it's a terrible thing to set a man up in jail to wait till the war ends to free him. Well, he said, just like when I was freed by them in 1946, they told me down here in the loop, the U.S. parole officer, he said, now, Elijah, you can go ahead and teach what you always have been teaching. Nobody will bother you anymore. You teach whatever you have been teaching. We didn't put you up for that. What you was teaching, but just to keep you from teaching others while we are at war. So that they will say, we don't go to no war with you like you were doing. Now, there's 2 wars since then that you have fell in with them wholeheartedly because you don't know yourself. You're blind, deaf, and dumb to the knowledge of self, so therefore you said, come on, let's go to Vietnam and kill them so Americans can rule without war. You didn't know what you were saying because you didn't know yourself. What is the root of Vietnam War and with America. It is to let these two fight, because they're both is enemies of God. And try to let them kill off as many as they will of themselves. The Christian and the Hindus. Vietnam people is Hindus, and you have no rights whatsoever to try to make yourself a Hindu by trying to defend them. But you didn't know that. Now I'm telling you that. They're no kin to us. They're no brothers of ours. They hate you. If you let them go free and let their Hinduism, which is their religion, rule on. If you don't believe like they believe in Hinduism, then they would want to kill you. So in the first place, you was the dumbbell. You had no rights over there, but you went. Because he called you and told you to come and go with me and fight my enemy. Yes, sir. Well, if I don't go, he will put me in jail. How about that one that he put in the grave? We have been made just like our enemy today. And we have the desire to defend him, even at the price of killing each other. The Hindu people is not no brothers of ours just because they have a black eye or something like that, or you see some nature part of the man looking like me. No, they are not for us at all. That old Hinduism has been taught by them, so God taught me for 35,000 years. Not just 3,000, 2,000 from Jesus. 35,000 years. That's the age of the Hinduism. Now you can't change them, hardly. As the Muslim tells me over there, that if they make one a convert to Islam a year, they think they're doing fine. He's an old enemy of God. But this is to run him and this Hinduism off the planet. That's why God let him, the Christians, fight each other, because he intended to get both of them. That he's here after us, because we were bound under the enemy. And the enemy has taught us from the cradle what do and do, which is against us and our people. The teaching is so strong that we start cutting each other through, shooting each other down. Two brothers shoot each other to death, cutting each other to death. Think over that. It's strange to see two black men by nature out there fighting and killing each other. So what? That's your brother. You don't kill your brother. You kill other than your brother if other than your brother attacks you. But not brother. No. He put fear and our parents when they were little babies. And they come up nursing that deer from the breast of their mother. She's sitting nursing her poor little baby boy child with fear of the white man. It went right into the baby. And then the child come up trembling. He's short of white folks. I'm saying to you, brother, take it or leave it, it's the truth. So Yahoo, who is Yahoo, the devil of our people, and the maker of himself among us to rule us for 6,000 years. There was no man come up that had the wisdom of Yahoo to take away his rule until the birth of the Medici, whom now represent to you in the name of Master Farad Muhammad. That is your and my God, Master Farad Muhammad, in person, as the Bible teaches you. You will see God as He is, in person, in the judgment. If you will deny it and say that you will not believe in no man for no God, I will tell you to produce me then a God older than man. When you're saying that man desires, man prepares it and gives it to him. This microphone here was not prepared by no student. It was prepared by a man. And so show me anything that was not prepared by man as I'm coming from the sky. I'm telling you what the stars is and how they were made and what they were made from. And I come to the sun. And I tell you what the sun is and what it was made for. And I come to the moon and tell you what the moon is made out of and why it's there called a moon and why has not it been replaced and was taken away from a certain place. It's come to serve its purpose. To raise you and I up, brothers and sisters, to rule the whole universe and the hereafter, and our world to come be over the creation of the first God who said be. And there it is. Our world must be that now. It must come to pass that one of you, tomorrow, will say the same, and we'll have something different. So it may be 100, it may be 1,000, it may be 1,000,000 years it will come to pass. Remember that. I don't have time for us to go in arguments over these things, as I got to get you up to the position where you can always if you want to. When after 5,000 years, this man that made white men, verse 4, 6,000 years ago, pushing the 25,000 years into the 6,000 years of his rule. Now he don't go to the end of those 6,000 years. Where we at in the calendar of our rules of once every 25,000 years we change God, his wisdom limit only to 25,000 years. Here, this man coming back on life of that 25,000 years from the year 9,000 to the year of 15,000. Yahu's wisdom, dear brother. And you can erase some of the other, some teaching. You can erase whatever you please and keep going with what I hear. 9,000 years of our calendar history, of 25,000 years. This man Yahoo was born, and his civilization was to rule us for 6,000 years until the year 15,000 of our calendar counting. At year 6,000, the wise theologians of the white man, they know what I'm talking about. They know that time is out. It went out in 1914. Then what we ruling because you are yet asleep. You are yet asleep, and this is my way to wake you up completely and make you command your reign, and that you will lay hold to the rule and rule the people of the earth, bright man of the earth. I'm sorry, bright brother, that's from abroad. We are raised up to rule the next world, which is always right. But a class of rulers must be prepared to rule that people. We are the ones. The oft time that you hear us say, except you are, this is included, that you accept the rule. That's what you are. Once upon a time before the making of the white man, the devil. Well, once upon a time before the making of the white man, the devil of the earth. And that you are supposed to run for it now, not to say be taught to run for it. Because there is no man in the Son that can condemn what Elijah teaches. No, you may feel that you can do it, but that's just your feel. When I get through with you, you can rule with what I teach you. and get respect and honor throughout the world of men. If you leave America, go in any parts of the earth and among any people, you tell them that you are a follower of mine, they will respect you immediately. I have 6,000 years ago, this man, the God of the white man, saw his way in making this people by playing with those two pieces of steel. That one is attacked from the other one, and he's still playing with steel. Right? This was the base of his knowledge to rule. It was to turn steel into weapons and use the weapons that he turned and made out of steel to kill you and me. This is just what he's doing. We did not make a great navy to put on the high seas. We don't need them. As long as we have power over the water that the heaven is on. We, the nation of Islam, our scientists, they don't need a navy. They're capable of sinking yours that you have made without a navy. Did not you read in the Bible that the Bible teach you that one angel they saw, he was on the sea, and he caused the sea to become a corrupted power for anyone to use. He turned it all into poison. And by dropping something out of the heavens, the Bible teaches. He dropped the star in the water from heaven and made it unfit for the people to stay on the water. It says when he dropped that star, all the people that was in the sea died. Right? Right? I want you to know that. Right? I want you to know that this is not white people that goes off that study, black people. You are the sons and daughters of God, of your kind, which rule the whole earth. They can take the earth and move it off on its regular rotation and turn it backward if they want, and you will never know the difference. To prove whatever goes on in the way of terrific explosion in China or in Vietnam, you don't feel it here, do you? No. It's because the earth is so large that you cut away half of it on the other side, you never feel it. The earth is 8,000 miles or 8,000 miles approximately plural in diameter. So, since he's so near to that figure, most scientists just said 8,000 miles. She's so near to being 25,000 miles in circumference, so the scientists said 25,000 miles approximately in circumference. Okay, let me get back over here and give this man a little more word. If now that a God was made 9,000 years of our carnal history, and from that 9,000 years they come, their time, he was a made man according to the very nature of us. We can produce a man in 9 months. So he's not away from us yet. If we can find one thing that he has done without us, he wishes to show it by taking and combing the history and piecing it and looking for any wisdom that he had on himself that we didn't give it. Then the slain big shots. That this Holy Quran here asks the white race to produce what he has created, that which we didn't give him, and he can't do it. All that you have, we give it to you. The white man has nothing that he created. He fashioned something after our creation. We created everything that he got the base from to make what he wants to make. The iron, the steel was already here in earth. And he made this rule or kingdom from that which he found in the earth. That which he found in the earth was ours. That is why you find in the Bible here in Isaiah, he cracks down on him to prove to him that he is God and that he has nothing to fight God with. He tells him that I created the fire that you blow. I created the gold. I created the instrument that you made for a weapon. I created the iron and steel. Show me, Mr. Devilman, what do you have to fight me with? I have power over my creation. Do you have power over your creation? No, because your creation is from mine. Years ago, remember this, that an enemy was produced to cause all of this trouble that has been coming to the white man for the last 6,000 years, whom we call white man instead of just saying devil. That's his real name, devil. You said by his color because that you didn't know who was under the color. When Yaakov was making him, he taken the brown germ away from the black man. And he taken that brown germ which was weaker than the black germ. And he looked into the possibility of making a weak room strong. This is not out of the order of science, brother. Don't even attack the man that said these things, because you may fail to win. This weak germ in us, the black man, give a color that was brown. So Yah would say, I will take the brown germ away from the black and make a man of the brown germ, and then teach him my wisdom. He said, give him my wisdom, my knowledge, and he can rule the black man from whom I take him from, until the black man produces a man that is wiser than I. Then he will take me and my made man away off the scene, to never rise anymore. He told his people, the white people, when you live on this earth 6,000 years, then you don't try to live on the 7, because the 7,000 years, your brother coming from the east, and he is going to eat you up. This the white man or devil knows. This is why he goes over in the east and stops his artillery over there to try to keep the man from coming out. Start working on him before he leaves. But they know that he was going to do that. As this Holy Son teacher, we made you and we know what your mind suggests. Whenever he thinks up anything, this already has been known. And he can't pull off nothing on that like a surprise. We've got no surprise to make on us. Listen at him while he's thinking of it. Think over that, brother. This is what Jesus was equipped with, the knowledge of thought. That's why he could always get out of the way of his enemy before they get there. He has already tuned up on them. And when he knows they're coming from this way, he goes that way. And they couldn't overtake him, because they was not equipped with the instrument of thoughts of other people. So he could always evade this. So my dear beloved brothers and sisters, this man, Yaku, he was not that type of man either. He could not tune up on the people and tell them what they're thinking about. But this one that I preach you of, he tune up on you and tell you what you're thinking about. And then if he wants to, he stop you from making any progress with that thought, or make you make progress. It depends on how it affects others and yourself. I'm not saying this, making no prophesy of it for you to carry out, but I do believe that within about, I would say in about 20 or 30 years, you will be able to do just the same thing. The cleaner you keep yourself, your heart, the more easy you can hear. If you keep your heart clean with God, you could go over there across the street. You could go over there in Oklahoma. You could go in California. You could listen to what I'm saying without the aid of anything like this. The devil's done this. And now I intend to unstop our ears so we can hear Scripture. As David, teacher in the song, he has unstopped mine that I may hear. He has cut loose my stammering that I may speak plain. That's in your Bible. It's coming true right along, not at this time. You don't have to live that time. It's now. I will tell you, as God has taught me how this is done. It comes to your ears just like the bell in your telephone. It starts ringing in your ears. But now you can't shut who's on the line. But you do have that ear ringing. Well, that's me or somebody trying to get in touch with you. Trying to make you think that I'm no great scientist, that I can pick up and tune in on you at will. No. God didn't raise me up to do that. I'll go so far as he let me go. If God listens to the nature, the organs of nature is there to use for such purpose. But I can't say to you about David. He says in his songs, God had opened his ear that he may hear. You have it there in his song. And I think maybe God will bless me with the same someday when he pleases. Because I don't think David was anything better than I. So now we move on. A little further into Yaakov. Rex as a God. He was the God of this people. And he made gods out of them. As Jesus teach you or tell you that they are the God of this world. They are. Anything they want, they don't get on their knees to pray for it. They make it. They make it for you and me. Anything that the civilian needs, he produces it. This is what you call God-like power. He is God of this world. He can produce for the people their desire. And mature. You remember when you was a little boy, 50 and 75-year-old brothers, that you didn't see all of the scientific achievement for the advantage of this civilization as you see now. Right? Indeed, I'm right. because I was back along there myself and I didn't see it. All praises to Allah. I was so good to you. I am honored to be living today by God. So many of my brothers have fallen since I was born, and I can't find them. Don't be ashamed to tell people that you're 150 years old, if you're there, because God has blessed you. What if you would live as long as Moses? What if you would live as long as Methuselah? He lived nearly 1,000 years. Now, what are you talking about here under 100 years? You nothing but a baby. Some of you may think that you should tell me that you're too old. I want you, young brother, to come up and tell me whether you could master the mission that I'm giving to you from Allah. And I suppose if you had lived in the days of Moses and the other long, hard prophets, you would have first killed them to get them out of the way. But what you were thinking, they're too old. The Bible teaches you at the age of 120 years of Moses, he walked upright. He didn't walk stupid. And that he went on, when he died, he was like that. And these others. So, brother, I think you need to study history. He thinks I'm too old, and you're not yet able to take my place. They would leave the world in a bad condition because you wouldn't be able to carry on. So kind of stick around until God takes me away. As I will go away, don't think I'm here forever. Of course, there is no death mentioned in the life of Elijah in the Bible. He comes up from the king and runs out here in the New Testament in the Revelation. So he comes all the way through the Bible. And if he died, we don't know where he died. I'm not saying now that I will live no great long time. I don't know how long Allah will let me live. He may not let me live another year for that concern. I don't know. But while I'm here, I must work and do that work which He brought me up from among you to do for you. It's a powerful job. As he told me out of his own mouth, he said, brother, you have the worst job of any man ever lived. So when you start to contending with me, you're making the burden heavy. Because you came in and you're wasting my time and yours too. This man, being 6 years old when that he started his work. Now, if he was 6 years old, he was on time because he was going to make a people to live 6,000 years old, 6,000 years. And he did do just that as we see them, and they call their number 6. And in the Bible they said that number is equal with the man. Well, that's right, because we was also ourselves created on the number 6. But it was not just a little 6 years. Ours went into billions and trillions. While he'll stop here in just a few years, there in 12 months, 365 and 1/4 day. This is his type, his kind of years that he has lived, his 6,000. There's no more for him. It is the love for him to continue to stay here and let you enjoy his civilization. That don't make any difference. His time is up. And you should be happy that his time is up, as much hell that he gives you in his time. He didn't give us nothing but hell. Now, why should we want him to live? It's because we are so lazy we don't want to go for self. And we'd rather, that's right, we'd rather be a slave to a smart man than to be a smart man ourselves. So remember that, brothers. I may not please you so well in speaking about the white man, because you love his way of life. That's why you don't like to hear me say too much against him. But I'm at the time when it is your time and my time. That I don't need to worship him. He's not going to live to rule us long. And he'll bear me witness with you. Their time is up. They just stand around giving you hell while they are here. And as long as you don't remove them, it is our people to remove them. But they can't remove them as long as you are here worshiping. They've got to put a stop to your worshiping. So the thing they're going to do big is power on land, sea, and air. This is what they're fixing to do now. But leave it alone. And then if you want to go along with them, they'll give you a fair chance. On every other corner of the street here, the messengers of God separating the people for found a destruction. He'll ask you, what side are you on? If you tell them that I'm on America's side, then another will tell you where to stand, where to take your stand, so that they will not miss you either. They come to another, and what side are you on? I'm on Allah's side. They're black people. The Muslims. Okay, come go with me. This is the way it will be done, and it won't be long, and you will tell me. You certainly tell us the truth. This is what the Bible calls the great separation, putting the sheep to one side and the goats to another. That's people. The goats represent the white man and those who follow him. The sheep represent you that believe in the truth and believe that you were born of the truth and that you belong to Allah by nature. Then you will easily take your place. Be aware that these days and times and the words that is dropping into your ears is nothing for you to ignore. Do you ignore your own life? It is not 20 years to come. It is not the lifetime unless you get killed accidentally. It's not what you're doing. I'm satisfied to teach you the truth of this, how it began and how it will end. This is what I'm doing now, teaching you the beginning of this world and how this world will end. I have everything of that knowledge in my head from God himself. You may say, when will this be? I'm not telling you today if I know it. But God didn't tell me to do so, nor anyone else, until that day comes. There is no man knows that day, that hour. Some of them think they know the year from it. I have read them, that knowledge they have, and what they calculate from. I don't say that they are millions of years away from it, according to what I have been taught, but he's not going to tell you, the wise man, if he knows that, he won't tell you. And now will I tell you that closeness that God gives to me of. But I said to you, the time that you live in will soon know no more. It might go out this calendar history that we're in now, which reads up according to the equalization of Muhammad calendar, the Arab calendar, I mean, it won't go 10 more years because they just don't want it. When they tell you anything, it's just that. What you read in the Holy Quran is just that. If you don't read no just logic, it tells you the truth. And according to the Holy Quran, we are not very far from the gate of sounding his trumpet.
We're at the end of white man's world, and this is his beginning that I'm talking about. Showing to you up to this time that it is time from the time that he began. If he was to live according to our calendar history and the scientists, which is right, 6,000 years from 9,000 years of the Arab the Islamic history, calendar history, his time is up, and a long ways up. God gave him an extension of time, around 60 or more years, due to us. If he had been destroyed right on the date of his time, he would have, or rather his time would have destroyed us, because we wasn't ready. And you are not yet ready. This is why I'm hasting on to you this truth that you didn't know. I know what's fixing to happen. Allah has told me, and I can read it to you, or send it to your address. The time is known, and according to the very precise word of the time by God and his prophets, you're overdue. They're overdue. They know that. But as I just said, it is due to us being blind up and come to the knowledge of ourselves and all wrapped up in the belief and faith of white people and their way of life. You love their way of life because they made you to love it. Way of life. You love their way of life because they made you to love it by not teaching you the way of your life. We are real righteous people that we don't know since the devil robbed us of it. The more you practice the faith of Islam, the more you want to practice it. And the reason that we teach you is because that you are Muslim yourself. You wasn't made one, or we are not making you one now. We are making you to act on the principles of what by nature you are. You was not what you are practicing now. You never was that. The devil got you doing that, and that's the way of his life, and you have not, within 100 years up from slavery, being able to practice his life as perfect as he does. Because by nature he's that. By nature you are not. When you get back to yourself into righteousness, you will love it. And you want that to do with the white man's wickedness. And that makes you then, for the first time, love yourself. Yeah. You must learn to love yourself. It is true that these names that you hear us going in, there's not names that you should be laughing at. Making mark of them, you should make mark and laugh at the name that you go in of the devil. He don't have no name, as the Bible teaches you. He don't have no worthwhile name, and his name will be destroyed from the face of the earth. Yeah. sisters, I know there was something or other. Every day I try to eat long when this hour comes in. And so the bell at that time is ringing. We must learn to make a wall, a new wall, over the old wall of Satan. We must do this. We must have our arm. Our arm must come to us. We must seek that arm, our own. As even the Indians out here in Oklahoma is trying to seek Oklahoma for their first state. They want that arm. Here you and I, millions of us, are their own few of the Indians. But millions of us don't know how by wisdom and the type of wisdom to get our own. You don't need guns. Guns you don't need. You'll see the Muslim and myself walking and riding around through this civilization without arms. We handle sometimes 10,000 people out of jail. Strip them of their arms and let them go into our place, our meeting, and you never come around saying that we had to go kill some of the Muslims because they was being other than themselves. And they had killed some people. We don't carry weapons. We don't need weapons if we have God on our side. What do we need with weapons? If he creates the heavens and the earth, and iron and steel that you use for weapons, don't he have power over it? Certainly he has power over it. So this is why we pay no attention to his weapons building and arm building, which he's going to try to stop himself from doing. We see we are an example of people who believe in love and unity of civilized man instead of forcing them by force of arms to do so. Because that don't last no longer than the arms is capable of empowering us to the force of it. So he came without arms. And I don't carry weapons myself. And I go everywhere he asks me to come for a big crowd. With no weapons whatsoever but here. So he put his own power around me and under me and over me. And I come to you and I speak out bold. The first thought comes into you when you have weapons is killing a Negro or a black man. Because that's what was in him. He made the weapons and his desire that the weapons help him to kill you and his own kind. Let us don't carry weapons to our God, but the truth. And the power of the truth will protect us because it is its author is God. Brothers and sisters, I think I'm just about setting up, and I think you have gotten to the birth of your worst enemy ever was on the earth. That's Yaakov. Yaakov, the name don't mean an enemy to us, but the man that had that name, he made an enemy for us. But you can be called Yaakov and I can be called Yaakov, but that don't mean that we are brothers or no friend to the mate of that father of the devil, Yaakov. So brothers and sisters, I say to you, I think you're getting hungry maybe like myself, and I don't want to overtake you here because I will be back next Sunday. There is many Muslims in here who used to hear what I'm teaching you on, used to hear it in 6 hours, sometimes a little less. But I was not taking it up with them at that time, piecing it apart, showing you the in and out of it like I am today. So that is why I take about 2 hours each time to pull you up gradually. So when you get up on top, you will know how far you came. Reach the top, and that you could master your seat up there on top. See, God said to me to teach you, he will set you in heaven. He said, run you in heaven. He will set you in heaven. This is similar to what Yaakov taught his people. This means that you will not be no slave to nobody. Not white nor black. That's just it. Section heaven with plenty of money. There's plenty of money here. Plenty of money all over there. He took it out of the pocket of nations and bless you and me with it. So I'm going to say to you that if there's any one of you that have a question that you want to ask me, you may ask anyone. That there is no question, then we're going to dismiss it. Who was it raised up first, stood up first? Yeah. Walaikum salam, brother. Sir. Yes, sir. So a white woman? Really, brother, I don't know whether she is white or black, but I believe Abraham had a very great love for black, and maybe he had a black wife. If Sarah was white or black, her husband was a great prophet, and the time that we are now in was revealed to him. His prophecy most was on the days of us and our return to our own. Ishmael? Ishmael? Yes. I don't say that she was white, and I don't say she was black, because the Arab, for a long time, that has been ruling, they was white. After the taking away of the history of us that was in Abraham, which is true that we are following and fulfilling that which was prophesied by him. Whether Sarah was white or black, it has never been much concern to me, because I wasn't following up Sarah for no particular prophetic things in order to bring out some truth here. Only our woman here who are sitting under the guide into righteousness. We use Sarah as a very good woman that they could take pattern after. This is the only reason we bring the history. You follow it, believe it, practice it, and if by believing the truth and practicing the truth cause your life to be taken from you, then you are willing to die for that which you believe in. If we believed in Christianity and the white man as a leader for us, we go wherever he tells us to go to offer our life for him and what he teaches. Okay, now your own has come to you. Now if you do just what you say that you intend to do, yes. Yes. Pardon me, sir? Pardon me? Yes, sir. He is. I never could have stripped these men out of that which they was in when they come to me, unless it had not been for God. Power working with me in the words of teaching that I teach them. They would have still remained in that which they was in. So this is the proof. So I thank you, brother, for coming up, giving that respect and honor to what I am teaching. And I pray to Allah that one day that you will see all is right and that you will be with any of us in the faith, in the nature of which we were created, that is Islam. That is not walaikum salam. What? Islam is not a religion. We call it a religion, but it's not a religion because it is the nature of us. Therefore, the nature of us can't be called a religion. That's why the 30 and 30 of the Holy Quran teaches you that Islam is not in the words, is not a religion, but it's in the nature in which we were born. If you go to high masonry, they'll ask you where were you made a mason. You better not tell them that you were made one. You've got to tell them that you have always been that. Yeah. Maybe I will go back with you before the fellow that disagrees of that particular order. And he's not going to disagree with me. And so you can go home now and study over what has been said here to you, and then if you see good in it, then bring me back 5 people, each one of you next Sunday. Yeah. But remember when you goes out of here, that you do no more to no one than you would have done unto yourself. Treat everybody right if you are righteous. Don't go out mistreating people just because you are righteous. Enemy that does that. But you go out treating the people right. Yeah. And remember that black people all over the earth is your brothers and sisters. Whether you like them or not, that's all right. They are your people. And don't run to Africa claiming you're the brother of with the African there before you recognize brotherhood here. Be sure you're the brother of your brother here. They are not looking for no such thing. They are looking for unity. And that you carry out what I teach you. They will love you. They will fight for you as they're talking now. They'll do anything for you that is calling me. They want to do that for the whole of America, black. And that's what I'm trying to get you in order so that they will do just that. And now I thank you, and I have enjoyed a very happy, lovely afternoon with you. Lovely afternoon with you. And pray, O Lord, that I will see you again next Sunday afternoon and to continue this world's history with you, the secret part of that you never knew. This is what I'm trying to do, to give to you that which they never taught you, which is the truth of themselves and you too. But I don't want you to go out of here sucking them in the eyes and mouth just because you have learned that you are the greater person of the earth. Don't do that. Go out and show the world that you are the greatest righteous and justified person there is on the earth. That will kill Yahoo civilization just by you doing right. I thank you, and I will turn you back over into the hands of our assistant minister to dismiss you. As I say unto you in the name of Allah, Assalamu alaikum.